Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the pre-show for the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games Open Workout 18.1. Now, you guys are watching me. I'm also watching you here on Facebook Live. So I'm tracking your comments. I'm looking at what you guys are saying. We're going to do a little bit of that housekeeping right now. I'm going to the house. Kiki's going to the house. So everybody's hearing all this stuff as well. And I'm going to answer some questions that I already got on the live feed as I see you guys tuning into our live broadcast. One, people are already asking, hey, is it too late? Have I missed the boat? Is it too late to sign up for the Open? The answer is no, absolutely not. You guys can still sign up. Actually, you can sign up all the way until the end of the close of the leaderboard. That's the end of Monday. Hey, what's up, everybody? I got to tell you guys at home that this is one of the craziest crowds that we've already seen. Hey, guys, I'm talking to the world right here. They want to know if Brazil's crazy. I think the answer is yes. Tens of thousands of these guys, by the way, signed up for the Open already. So if you're not signed up, like I said, it's not too late. Something else you guys should know while you're on your device. You can still download the brand spanking new CrossFit Games app. It's new and improved. It's where you're going to log your scores. It's where you're going to see the standards and see how you stack up against people in Brazil. See how you stack up against the world. See how you stack up against people in your age group as well. So lots to chew on tonight. Sam Briggs, Kristen Holted throwing it down right here. You guys excited about some top games athletes? Me too. After that, for the first time ever, I got a question about the Brazilian athletes. This is the first time you're going to see two heats of action in an Open announcement. So we'll do 18.1 first heat. We'll have a second heat, all Brazilian athletes, some of the top names in the sport down here. Some representatives who have been to the CrossFit Games in the teenage division. It's going to be hot. All right, so we're going to have a lot of fun. Some other questions that have been coming in is the app for Android as well as a iOS device. The answer is yes, absolutely. We got you guys covered. So make sure you go ahead, go download the app. Now, again, this is just the pre-show. We're warming up slowly, even though it's hot in here. People are excited. People are stoked. So we're warming up slowly. In just a few moments, we're going to see Sean Woodland and Tommy Marquez breaking down the action. We'll see 18.1 go down. And then, of course, we'll have the cool down show, your questions from social media to Dave Castro and the athletes. And then heat number 2 will take on 18.1. Now, enough from me. You guys, we're going to the official pre-show in just a few moments. The big brains, the men calling the action tonight, will be Sean Woodland and Tommy Marquez. Enjoy the show.
Sao Paulo, Brazil's biggest city, known for its rich history, its arts and entertainment, and of course its warm and welcoming people. Twice it has hosted matches for the FIFA World Cup, first in 1950 and then again in 2014. And tonight it becomes the capital of the CrossFit world as it hosts the opening announcement of the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games Open. Thank you everybody for joining us. I'm Sean Woodland alongside Tommy Marquez. We've been here a couple of days, Tommy. People were telling us it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. There is no way I anticipated what we're seeing here tonight.
Not at all, Sean. And from the minute we got here, from the first affiliate that we dropped in to watching everybody pour in just for tonight, the energy is just unreal. It's hard to elaborate to people at home, but the passion just jumps out immediately. And it's one of the reasons why we're here. I just love the fan base and what they bring to the table.
I've been to a lot of these Open announcements. This one right now is going to be tough to beat. Probably the leader in the clubhouse. Really fast, let's get you caught up on what we're going to do tonight if you don't already know. The main attraction, of course, is the Open announcement. The announcement of 18.1, the first test of the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games Open. It's going to be Sam Briggs and Kristen Holta throwing down. After that heat, we will have the cool down show where you at home will be able to submit questions via social media and interact with the athletes. And then after that, it's an all-Brazilian affair. 4 local Brazilian athletes, some who have been to the games, some who have competed in regionals, will be thrown down in heat number 2 of 18.1. The 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games season has some changes in store. One of the biggest is the fact that for the first time since 2014, we're going to have a regional competition in South America. The growth of the sport in Brazil is a big reason for that, and it is a huge reason as to why we're here tonight.
Yeah, starting with the Open. The Open's about community, right, Sean? And Latin America and Brazil in general has, over the last few years, built a community that simply just can't be ignored right now. You look at affiliates, they're the second largest country worldwide, Brazil is, in terms of affiliates. They have more than 1,000. The only other country outside of the US to do that. There's 19,000 Brazilians registered in the Open. Latin America was the second largest region last year based on Open registration. And then you couple that with the fact that the level of competition here is getting better every single year, both in the Open worldwide and at regionals. They sent a team to the games last year. I mean, at this point, their appetite for CrossFit can't be denied, and their competition level at a point where they've earned the recognition in terms of this regional competition and us being here tonight.
One of the big reasons that CrossFit has grown so quickly here in Brazil is the fact that we have some very good ambassadors for the sport and the training methodology, and Rory McKernan is with one of them now.
Sean, that's right. I'm sitting with basically the guy who's been walking me through the Brazilian affiliate community, Ricardinho Prudente, and he's been such a great host. Thank you, first of all, for that.
It's an honor. Thank you.
Now, I think they speak for themselves, but tell me how stoked people are to have an event down here finally in Brazil.
Man, we don't get to see these people here. We don't get to see Samantha Briggs very often. So I think this house here is going to be so loud that every word, the whole world will understand why we have a regional right now.
Yeah, that's right. We're coming down here because you guys absolutely deserve it. So that's what these guys are excited about. How about you personally? What are you excited to see tonight?
Man, I'm excited first to see the future of CrossFit with the teenagers, Luisa and Guilherme. I also very excited to see the engine, Samantha Briggs throw down here, and also a fight for a spot on the regionals with Antonelli and Anita. That's going to be crazy, man.
It's going to be fun. Stick around because I'm going to need you later. We're going back to the booth right now, Sean and Tommy.
Thank you, Ro. Of course, most people here are here for the main attraction, and that's Samantha Briggs and Kristen Holta. We will get to them in a second. But one great thing about the Open, and you mentioned this, Tommy, it is for everybody. And we've done this before in the past, but tonight we're going to have two local everyday CrossFitters throwing down with Samantha Briggs and Kristen Holta.
And that's what's fantastic about the Open. We have two athletes right here that are similar to you and me, Sean, starting with Andre Genta. He's an athlete that just a couple of years ago was 60-plus pounds heavier. He started CrossFit just to get healthier, to get his life back in his own hands, and now he's thrown down on a big stage to start off the CrossFit Games season, and he kind of represents the everyman that's just trying to get a little bit healthier lifestyle, which is what CrossFit is founded on. And then you have Sylvia Lay. She's a two-year tenured CrossFitter. This is her second time doing the Open. Last year, she was kind of on the borderline of doing RX or scaled. Another great representation of the community. So many of us are not just here to, try and make it onto regionals. We're just trying to better ourselves in the Open, and that's our level of dedication to the sport. And let's be frank, the pool of athletes going on past the Open is less than 1% of the total number of registrants that we have in this sport. So these two athletes really represent the greater community at large, yourself, myself included, and that's really what we're here for in the Open and what we get to celebrate.
Samantha Briggs and Kristen Holta are definitely looking at this as the first step to the CrossFit Games in Madison, Wisconsin. And if you remember, last year they actually helped us kick things off in 17.1, and this year they are back to do it again. One has avoided the spotlight. The other has lived in it. One is trying to reach the podium. The other has stood atop it. Samantha Briggs is the fittest woman on earth. Both are two of the most consistent athletes in Europe. And Kristen Holta and Briggs in a sprint to the finish, and Briggs may catch her. And we're going to have to go to the chip on that one. Both begin their quests for Madison tonight.
It's the first stage of qualification for the beginning of my season, and it's coming together with everybody else in the gym for 5 weeks. We're all doing the same workout and feeling the same pain.
You have to see where the training compared to other people have been the off season, and it's an awesome experience to do it with all of the people at my gym. Nerves involved, but I think it's cool to get it started.
Kristen Holta won the Meridian Regional last year. She followed that up with a 7th place finish at the Games. Since her debut at the CrossFit Games in 2014, Holta has improved every year. She expects the same in 2018.
My expectations are to improve as a CrossFit athlete, to get better, especially in the things that I have not been as good at. I want to show people that I can do more than just run and do cyclocross. And that's what I'm working on every day, to get better at the whole package.
Sam Briggs is hoping older means better. After qualifying for the Games as both a master and an individual in 2017, the engine from England finished 9th in Madison. She expects better in 2018.
I've had a full year of training this year, so hopefully the work that I've been able to do in a full off-season will hopefully be able to get me back into that top 5.
Tonight, Briggs and Holta meet for the first time this year. Odds are, it will not be the last. Closer look at these two athletes. Samantha Briggs, we all know what she has done at the CrossFit Games. Fittest Woman on Earth in 2013 is tied for the most career event wins of the CrossFit Games with Annie Thorisdottir, but she dominates in the open.
I mean, if we're being frank here, Sean, she's probably the best female CrossFitter when it comes to the Open in history that we've seen. Beyond just winning the Open 2 times in her career, she's won 10 Open events worldwide. That's more than any other athlete, male or female, the only one to break into that double-digit barrier. 60% of the time, she finishes in the top 5 worldwide in an Open workout. Just to put that in perspective, you or me, you know, most of us, we think maybe a 1 workout, maybe 2 might hit our wheelhouse. We do pretty well. 3 out of every 5 Open workouts per year, she's in the top 5 worldwide. And then you have Kristen Holta on the other side of things, where if we define health as fitness over time here at CrossFit, her CrossFit Games career is getting healthier by the year, because she's gone from a girl that showed up in 2014, you know, winning the 333 event, she showed some good endurance, to slowly building herself into an elite level athlete at the Games, finishing top 10, finishing 7th last year, and winning her region in the Meridian ahead of Sam Briggs. So slowly but surely, she's become one of the best in the sport, and now we get to see them square off once again, just like we did last year.
What are you looking forward to watching the most unfold here in 2018?
Oh man, there's so many cool changes to pay attention to, but I'm really excited to see the Central Men's Competition. Yeah. More than a dozen individual male Games athletes thrown down at regionals this year. The team changes, going from 6 athletes to 4 athletes. I think that's really going to shake up the team competition. And then for me, how is Tia Toomey going to respond being the front runner this year?
We have a special offer to bring to you from one of our sponsors, Paleoethics. We're proud to have them back on board again this season. Go to paleoethics.com. Use the code OPEN2018. The deal runs until February 26th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. You'll get 40% off all full-sized supplements. Again, paleoethics.com, and use the code OPEN2018. Tonight just kicks off our coverage of 18.1. We will have updates throughout the week from the Update Studio in Santa Cruz, California, starting tomorrow with a live Open recap and Coach's Corner. That's on Facebook Live, and then continuing throughout the week. That is going to do it. Let's get this thing kicked off. I'm done talking about it. I know you're tired of talking about it. The 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games season starts now. It's time for the Open. You ready? We're about to find out. It's time to fight. Fight to get one more rep. Get back to the bar, or just freaking get up. Because if you do, that thing you didn't think you could do becomes a thing you just did. And no matter where you are on the leaderboard, that is victory. And that is what happens in the Open. And tonight, we get it going with 2 of the best in the world. 35-year-old Sam Briggs. You think she's slowing down? No way. The engine from England is still revving. The name Kristen Holta ring a bell? She only won the Meridian Regional last year and finished ahead of Briggs at the Games. Sure, it's just 1 workout, but it's also the first step to Madison, because it all counts in the Open.
E aí, galera! Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome first to the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games season, and more importantly, to the live announcement of Open Workout 18.1 presented by Paleoethics. My name is Rory McKernan, and I could not be more fired up. We're making history tonight with the first live broadcast from Brazil. We've traveled all the way to Sao Paulo to join these tens of thousands of individuals who are already signed up to participate in the Open, hopefully with you guys that are watching this broadcast right now. Two very special women from the CrossFit Games have also made the trip. And it's time to introduce those athletes right now. You guys ready to meet them? All right, first to the competition floor is your 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games champion, the engine from England, Sam Briggs. Tonight, Sam faces the reigning Meridian Regional Champion. Ladies and gentlemen of Brazil, please get loud for Norway's Kristen Holta. Kristen and Sam are in a league of their own when it comes to fitness, but these fans are in a league of their own when it comes to getting crazy. I can barely hear myself when they get loud, but Kiki Dixon was not afraid. She's actually chopping it up in the crowd right now. Kiki, how's it going?
Ro, all I can say is that Brazilians are some of the best fans in the world. We're excited to be here. They are definitely excited to be here. Tommy, Sean, this is a CrossFit location matchup made in heaven.
I cannot get over how crazy this crowd is right now. This is insane. If anything has taught us, if history's taught us anything about these Open announcements, it's expect the unexpected.
Yeah,
what do you expect?
Well, you know, Sean, I'm a numbers guy, and just looking at the history, snatches and burpees have shown up in the very first workout of the Open every year since the Open started in 2011. But Dave Castro himself said that he's going to break the mold this year. So really, for guys like me, it's kind of just throw your hands up and anything could happen at this point.
It is time to find out for the announcement of 18.1. Let's go back to the competition floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the announcement of 18.1, the director of the CrossFit Games, Dave Castro.
Last year, we introduced the dumbbell to the Open with 17.1. $18.1 is not 17.1. But 18.1 will include the dumbbell. 18.1 is a triplet. The first part of the triplet is toes to bar. The third part of the triplet is calories on the concept 2 rower. The second part of the triplet is the dumbbell. The hang clean to overhead. $18.1 is 8 toes to bar, 10 hang clean to overhead, 5 on each arm, 14 cals for the men, 12 cals for the women. As many rounds and reps as possible in 5 minutes. 10 minutes. 15 minutes. As many rounds and reps as possible in 20 minutes. Welcome to the 2018 Open.
You had me at 5. You had me at 5, Dave. I wanted a 5-minute workout just for once in my life. All right. So we've got the dumbbells are back. We're going long. And we've got a brand new movement to the Open. What more could you ask for to kick off the 2018 season? Now, We're going to give you guys a little appetizer, but it's just that. I don't care how many times you've done the open. Please listen to me. These are not the full standards. If you want those, go to the CrossFit Games website. You have to do that before you even warm up. But right now, for your viewing pleasure, here's a glimpse of 18.1.
CrossFit Games Open Workout 18.1 is as many repetitions as possible in 20 minutes of 8 toes to bar, 10 dumbbell hang clean and jerks, and 14 calories on the rower for men, while women will row 12 calories. Your score is the total number of repetitions completed in the 20 minutes. For the official movement standards, as well as information about scaled, masters, and teenagers, download the 18.1 scorecard and workout description from games.crossfit.com.
All right, my friends, check this out. This is my official score sheet. It's got the rules on it, and I found it on the CrossFit Games website. That's where you too can find it. Again, I encourage you to do that. If you're already wheeling out your rower, you've laid out your dumbbell, and you're chalking your hands, stop. Take a breath. Look at the rules so you don't have to do 20 minutes of hell again. All right? I also want you guys to know about the CrossFit Games app. You can find it in the iTunes Store or in the Google Play Store for both Android and iOS devices. It's basically your hub to the competition. So you can submit scores, you can see standards, and of course you can see where you stack up against the world or your region, your age group. It's all for you. Download the CrossFit Games app. Now, if you guys are paying attention, we got 4 lanes, but only 2 athletes. Ladies and gentlemen, that's because 2 very brave local CrossFitters are gonna take the competition floor with Kristen Holte and Sam Briggs. So stop and put yourself in those shoes. They're gonna be a little bit stressed out. So Brazil, I need you to shower them with love as I bring these local athletes out. First, I want to introduce you to a young lady in her 2nd year of CrossFit and her 2nd Open. She's from right here in Sao Paulo. She trains at Hangar 193 CrossFit. Ladies and gentlemen, get loud for Sylvia Lay. All right, Sylvia, Sam, and Kristen will be joined by a Masters athlete this evening, also from Sao Paulo. He is 49 years old. He trains at Born to CrossFit, and he's lost almost 100 pounds in his 2 years of CrossFit. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Andre Genta. Come over here. All right, Sylvia, last Thursday, you didn't even know that you were going to be doing this. Yeah. So how are you feeling right now in front of this home crowd?
It was a big surprise. My coach didn't say anything to me, but I'm really excited.
All right, good luck. I'm very proud of both of you guys. You're very brave. You're going to crush it. Have fun.
Thank you.
Guys, give it up. All right, Sylvia and Andre proudly represent this Brazilian community for CrossFit. It's a community that's leading the world in terms of participation and community.
It didn't take long for Greg Glassman's fitness revolution to spread across the globe. Since starting his first CrossFit gym in Santa Cruz, California, Glassman has watched one affiliate in Northern California grow to more than 14,000 in 120 countries. Participation in the Worldwide Open has exploded as a result. In the last 2 years, Canada and Australia have seen open registration increase 29%. Europe has grown by 124%. But nobody can match Brazil. Since 2015, their participation has increased 147%. Since 2009, the number of Brazilian affiliates has doubled every year.
We just passed 1,000 affiliates here in Brazil. It's insane how many people are getting their life changed by CrossFit. People here, Brazilian people, it is what makes the community so special.
O brasileiro é povo que gosta de inspiração, que gosta de esporte, que gosta de torcer. que gosta da comunidade, e o CrossFit trouxe tudo isso pro brasileiro. E não tinha como o nosso povo não se apaixonar.
O principal esporte aqui é o futebol, mas acho que as pessoas se identificaram muito com o CrossFit, com essa coisa da comunidade, de estar todo mundo junto, todo mundo torcendo, e com o fato também de sempre estar melhorando e querer ser a melhor versão de si mesmo.
After finishing second at the games last year in the 16 to 17-year-old division, rising star Guilherme Maheros is leading another international CrossFit revolution.
Foi muito boa para minha confiança, porque chegando ao segundo lugar do Games eu pude perceber que eu tô bem no nível de todos os competidores e que isso não vai mudar nada na minha competição e tudo mais. Então eu vou fazer tudo de igual para igual e eu estou muito confiante para isso.
No individual from Latin America has made it to the Games since 2014, but Maheros is poised to help his country make a lasting mark on the CrossFit Games.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined again by Ricardino Prudente. He's been my local guide. He's been fantastic. We've had a lot of fun, right?
Awesome, man. Great times.
All right, so we talked about community. We saw you in the video there. I want to talk about the athletes now who we're going to see in heat number 2. What excites you about seeing these Brazilian athletes on the world stage?
Man, the world's going to see why we got 2 Games athletes as a teenage division, and there's only one spot in Latin America for the Games, and there's 2 contenders here, and it's going to be crazy, man. That's going to be awesome.
Now, do you think this crowd's going to fire it up for the regional first?
Man, in regional, the world will never have seen something like that. It would be crazy.
All right, well, it's almost time for the workout. Not that they need any help, but I heard that you know how to fire them up and get them going right now. So let's start that now. You guys ready?
Let me try. Galera, eu sou brasileiro. Eu sou crossfiteiro!
We have new movement and we have something new for the open. Mass song by the crowd. Now, you haven't had a lot of time to chew on this workout. What do you think's possible here?
Man, I was just kind of going through the timing in my head about what each one of those movements is going to take. I think we're going to see maybe 13, 14 rounds. I think that's about what we could see from Sam and Kristen both, which is pretty beastly. You're talking about maybe 1:30 per round, maintained over 20 minutes. That's cooking.
Every open workout has a sticking point. Where do you think it is here?
I mean, for these top athletes, these movements aren't going to be much trouble for them. So I think something like grip management, hanging from the bar, doing the hang with the dumbbell, and then trying to release their grip a little bit on the rower throughout the entirety of 20 minutes. I think something small like grip is what's going to catch up to them. So I think managing that.
The entire community is going to take on 18.1, and most of us are not going to look like Samantha Briggs and Kristen Holta. To help us get our best score possible, here's some tips from Nicole Carroll.
Hey CrossFit community, Nicole Carroll here, back again with your tips for the Open 18.1. Let's take a look at it. This workout was designed to keep you moving. This means you'll be managing your breathing and your pacing. For 20 minutes, you want to find something just below your threshold effort. Discipline yourself into taking short breaks and quick transitions and maintain this for the duration. Going from toes to bar to dumbbell cleans over and over, your grip will be taxed. A couple of ways to manage this. Number one, when you get on the rower, take a relaxed grip on the paddle. Consciously think about not pulling and instead relax the upper body and drive through those legs. Next, if you need to break something up, do it on the toes to bar. Even if you end up doing these in singles, you can get a good break in your grip and not lose a lot of time. Name of this game is Get on the Rower. It's not intended to be a recovery row, but you might get to where you want to stop or break. Instead, get on the rower and get going, because no matter how slow you're pulling, you're still getting some work done. First workout of the 2018 Open season. I'm excited. I hope you are too. Go get them and good luck.
Enough talking. Let's do that CrossFit for the start of 18.1. Back down to the competition floor.
Let's go, Brazil. Let's go, Brazil. To get 18.1 kicked off, once again, the director of the CrossFit Games, Dave Castro.
10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go!
18.1 is underway. Settle in. This is going to be a long one. For only the second time in open history, we're going for 20 full minutes. We start with 8 toes to bar, and then it's 10. Hang, clean, and jerks with the dumbbell, 5 each arm, and then 12 calories on the rower for the women, 14 calories on the rower for the men.
Right away, we saw Sam Briggs already get a no rep with her very first dumbbell hang clean to overhead. I think this is something that's going to take some of these athletes some getting used to because we don't see this movement very often.
Kristen Holta is onto the rower. Every 30 reps, they will complete a round. For the men, it's every 32 reps. That is Sylvia Lay. She is one of the local athletes we have here competing in Sao Paulo. Only 2 years doing CrossFit. Last year when she did the Open for the first time, she was on the cusp as to whether or not she was going to do it RX. And it looks like so far that she's going RX here in 18.1.
Yeah, she's making easy work of that dumbbell. I love that, you know, she gets to ride a little bit of that wave of the atmosphere. Plus you got 2 great people to chase in Sam Briggs and Kristen Holte.
Kristen Holte is done with the first round. 30 reps down and on to round 2 and back for 8 toes to bar. And Samantha Briggs is now done, so less than 90 seconds in that first round.
Yeah, I was predicting about 90 seconds a round overall. They're a little bit faster than that. Let's see if it's something they can hold on to over time. There's a couple of keys in particular, Sean, that I'm really looking forward to this event. One is transition time. I mean, with 3 movements and 3 transitions built in over 20 minutes, if we're looking at 13 to 14 rounds, that's anywhere between 35 to 40 transitions. Minimizing the time on those could really, really save you some time. If you take an extra 2-3 seconds per transition, now we're talking about a minute, 2 minutes, maybe even 3 minutes overall the course of the workout, which is some precious reps. Then we look at dumbbell rhythm. I mentioned earlier, Sam Briggs has already gotten a couple of no reps on the dumbbell. In a tight race like this with one of the best in the world, that can be costly for you. And then row efficiency, the 12 rows and the calorie, that's going to take up the bulk of the time, I think, for these athletes in terms of total working time. Being efficient with your pull, making sure you hold a pace constant throughout, and don't fall off on the rower. It's really going to buy you an extra time to chew up some reps once you get back to the toes to bar and the clean and overheads.
Kristen Holta is through now 59 reps. Samantha Briggs is 3 back of her. And Kristen Holta is done with 2 rounds and on to round number 3, and we still have not hit the 3-minute mark. Again, 20 minutes in this workout. Only the second time in open history that we've had a 20-minute time cap.
Yeah, the first time we saw it at 16.1. Something Dave Castro loves is making us go long to start off the workout, especially with a grueling workout that we're going to see tonight.
You heard Rory McCurden talk about it after the workout was announced. Do definitely go to games.crossfit.com and check out the full movement standards. There are some things that you need to keep in mind here on the dumbbell clean and jerk as Kristen Holta has moved back to the rower. Sylvia Lay has decided to go RX. She's trying to get those toes to bar. And good on her for getting out here in front of all these people and throwing down. The other man on the floor, the only man on the floor, is that man, Andre Yenta, 49 years old, has lost nearly 100 pounds in his 2 years of CrossFit.
And that's incredible, Sean. Really, that's what the majority of us get into CrossFit for. It's not for competing in the sport, albeit it's a nice, auxiliary prize or a secondary focus for most athletes, but we get into CrossFit because we want to be healthier, we want to be more active, and you know what, for him, his reward is he gets to throw down right here on the biggest stage with the whole world watching.
Kristen Holta still has a lead on Samantha Briggs as we are past the 4-minute mark, approaching 4.5 gone. Holta through 98 reps. She is in round number 4. Again, every 30 reps, will be a round for the women. Every 32 reps will be a round for the men.
And we've already seen their pace slow a little bit, Sean. Kristen was about 1:20 for that first round. Sam was 1:26. They both dropped to about 1:30 per round in that second one, and they're hanging around that 90-second mark now going into round number 4.
Almost a quarter of this workout is done as Kristen Holta is staying ahead of Samantha Briggs, and Holta strapping herself back into the rower. And now Sam Briggs is back onto the rower as well.
You see on the screen there the pace that they have. It's 1,000 calories per hour. That's a pretty strong pace for the female athletes, especially them being a little bit lighter, not quite as tall as some of the men, but being able to hold that kind of 1,000-calorie barrier for some of these elite athletes over 20 minutes is really impressive.
Andre Hienta is on the dumbbell, and there are going to be a lot of athletes, even athletes who have regional aspirations, who are going to take a while to figure this movement out.
Yeah, it's something we don't do a ton of. Unilateral work is usually saved for something like a warm-up or some skill work. You'll see it in a dumbbell snatch, but that's about it. I think it's something that over time and practice, people are going to get a lot better at, and now they have a good reason to because it's in the open.
This crowd is going nuts. It is hard to hear yourself even think in this building as Kristen Holta is now through 128 repetitions, 6 minutes down. Samantha Briggs right next to her. And these two have a history that has really been intertwined in the Open. If you remember in 2014, Samantha Briggs won the Open but failed to qualify for the CrossFit Games, and Kristen Holta actually had something to do with that.
Yeah, it was largely because of Kristen Holta in the final event at Regionals. Remember, 2014 is when Holta burst onto the scene for her first CrossFit Games qualification process, but there were only 3 spots available in Europe that year. Sam Briggs was sitting right on the outside in 4th place going into the final workout. Kristen Holta, who was 1 point back, won that workout, leapfrogged Sam Briggs, took the 3rd and final spot, and that was one of the biggest shocks we've ever seen in CrossFit Games history, is the reigning champion not making it through regionals, and Kristen Holta had her part in it, and now they're once again squaring off to kick off this season.
And Sam Briggs has closed the gap and has managed to pull even with Kristen Holta, as Sylvia Lay on the right of your screen in the purple shorts is working through her toes to bar. She's doing this RX, great for her. Of course, I'm sure that she would have a much better score if she went scale, but chose to go RX. Big achievement for Sylvia.
You know what? This is a big mental victory for her, right? You're going RX in front of the whole world. You have your entire country behind you right now cheering you on. This is one of those moments where you know she can do all the movements safely. Why not give it a go and give it a shot? Pay attention to Sam Briggs coming off the rig here. Her first rep, she got no rep on the first rep in the 3rd and 4th round. It seems like she's kind of got her rhythm figured out, and once she did, she's now moved in front of Kristen overall.
Samantha Briggs is able to take the lead at the end of round 5 on the rower. And just like 17.1, if you recall, the hand that is not on the dumbbell cannot make contact with your body. That's going to be tough for some athletes as that thing gets heavier and fatigue sets in. They're going to forget about that. That's going to get you a no rep.
And remember, we have a new dumbbell standard this year when it comes to going overhead. The athletes can't switch hands until it passes the line of their face. So we're going to see some athletes who are maybe used to just kind of switching their hands up top have to wait to bring that dumbbell back to their shoulder and down. That's actually going to be a little bit of a fatigue with that negative of the dumbbell coming down on your triceps and your shoulders.
Samantha Briggs is through 172 total repetitions. We have not yet reached the halfway point of 18.1. 20 total minutes in this workout. Kristen Holta starting to fall back a little bit. 4 reps behind Briggs. Sylvia Lay working through those toes to bar. And I think the pace that Sylvia Lay has is the one that most of us are going to have once this workout gets to this point. Andre Hienta on the left side, he's going to scale this one.
We saw just a second ago the monitor on the screen. I mentioned that 1,000-calorie barrier for Kristen. That's pretty impressive. Sam was holding 1,300 calories. I mean, that's 30% faster than what Kristen is going. Nearly 10 minutes into the workout, that's just insane.
And Sam Briggs is starting to open up a sizable lead on Kristen Holta. Briggs 193 and counting, and here comes Kristen Holta. We mentioned earlier in the show just how good Samantha Briggs is in the Worldwide Open. She has won 10 open events. That is far and away more than anybody else.
And what's interesting here is she actually did something we're not used to seeing from Sam. Usually Sam's pretty known for coming out at this blistering pace to start a workout and almost daring athletes to come and chase her. This time she let Kristen kind of jump out in front and slowly but surely tracked her down over the course of 3 or 4 rounds, and now she's starting to move into a comfortable lead.
No one is better on the rower as far as the women are concerned than Sam Briggs.
Samantha Briggs, she won both the rowing events at the games in 2013 with the 2K row and then the half marathon row. So it doesn't matter if it's long or short. When it comes to sitting on that Concept 2 machine, Sam Briggs is one of the best in the sport.
Samantha Briggs is through 207, 208 reps. Now 210 as she closes out round number 7. And right back to work on the toes to bar. Andre Yenta is the gentleman on the left of your screen, 49 years old, out of Born to CrossFit. Again, he has shed 100 pounds in the 2 years since he's been training at Born to CrossFit. Briggs is back onto the dumbbell. Now Samantha Briggs is treating this more like a one-arm kettlebell swing.
Yeah, you know, she's letting that dumbbell go a little bit between her legs to get a little bit of momentum, swinging back up through the portion of the clean. She's not even pausing for the reset on the jerk to go to overhead. The minute she catches, she's staying in that dip and driving it overhead.
Kristen Holta back to the dumbbell.
It's worth a note, Sam Briggs did that last round in 1:27. Her first round was 1:26. She's not really breaking from her pace at all, and over the course of 20 minutes, that's really what's going to win you this workout.
Samantha Briggs is in round 8 right now, as is Kristen Holta. And we are past the halfway point. 20 total minutes, about 8 minutes and 30 seconds remaining as Briggs is through 9 of the 12 calories that she needs to complete on the Concept 2, and Kristen Holta is starting to fall back, although she is now on the rower alongside Samantha Briggs.
And it's very possible, Sean, that regardless of how this ends up, we could be seeing 2 of the top scores for this workout period when it comes to the women. I mean, Kristen Holta and Sam have 2 of the biggest engines in the sport when it comes to just putting your head down and grinding for long periods of time. I mean, these women have that skill in spades.
Samantha Briggs is back to the dumbbell for the 9th time, and she has yet to really slow down. And now Briggs has found her rhythm. Struggled a little bit at first with this movement, but now Samantha Briggs looks like she's been doing this her whole life. And Kristen Holta chalking up her hands and back to the toes to bar. Sylvia Lay continues to crank out some reps. She's on the right of your screen. Again, just 2 years of CrossFit out of Hangar 193 CrossFit. Going RX here. And then Andre Yenta is on the left of your screen, 49 years old, out of Born to CrossFit. And Andre choosing to go with the scaled route.
Well, it's nice that he's getting to do that knee up variation of the workout, still getting a great workout, getting that midline work. These are the kind of things that we teach in CrossFit to help build you up to do the RX movement eventually in the toes to bar.
Well, Andre is in round number 5. That's a great score for him. Holta and Briggs on the rower. Briggs is done. Holta back in. Past the 13-minute mark here, an 18.1 from Sao Paulo, Brazil. The opening test of the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games season. And Briggs has yet to slow down on these toes to bar.
And we just saw her with those toes to bar. She's not doing that full big kip swing like we're used to seeing. She's doing that fast cycle where she brings her feet through almost in a circular motion, kicks them right back up. That's usually something that most of us do when we're fresh, and she's doing that 13 minutes into a workout, you know, almost nearly 300 reps into this workout as well.
She is in round number 10. Kristen Holta is still on the rower, so Briggs may get back on the rower before Holta completes her 9th round. And she does, but just barely as Holta puts the finishing touches on round number 9. And so it looks like Sam Briggs will set the early mark to beat if this pace holds, and given what we know of Sam Briggs and what she's done in the past, highly unlikely that she's going to implode here.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where Sam almost seems like she gets stronger the minute we get into that 15 to 20 minute time range when other people start to slow down. I mean, she's showcased that so many times across the years. The half marathon row, the burden run. We saw it in the Madison triplet last year with the running and going over the hay bales with the cheese curd. She just seems to pick up steam almost like a snowball downhill once we get into these dark minutes, I like to call them, at the end of a long, grueling workout.
Almost 3/4 of the way through. Kristen Holta still on the dumbbell. Neither of the elite athletes have chosen to break those reps up. And Sam Briggs again just rifling through the toes to bar. Holta is back onto the rower as Samantha Briggs is now in round 11.
She's picking up about 3 reps per round on Kristen Holta. She was about 9 reps ahead of her about 3 or 4 rounds ago. She's almost into the 20s, almost at 25 reps ahead of Kristen. I mean, this pace, most people watching at home, you know, this is his regular old run-of-the-mill Sam Briggs, but this is just insane level of capacity that we're seeing here.
Samantha Briggs, after winning the CrossFit Games in 2013, failed to qualify in 2014, was 4th in 2015, 4th in 2016, and then last year, when she probably wasn't 100%, finished 9th. She had shoulder surgery, she is now completely healthy, and she feels like she has what it takes to get herself back into the top 5. She will be 36 years old when the CrossFit Games roll around.
And she's not just your regular run-of-the-mill 36-year-old. I mean, she's showcasing the level of fitness that you can build over time, even if you're in, say, a master's category this year, because she's still teaching a bunch of the youngins a thing or two about how to go long, especially in this workout, and we're seeing it right now.
4 minutes to go. Samantha Briggs is pulling away from Kristen Holta. Sylvia Lay and Andre Hienta are continuing to grind, and good on them for doing it. Briggs into round number 12. Tommy, so far it's looking like the number you threw out at the beginning might actually come to pass.
Yeah, and I watched Sam Briggs here, especially with this hang clean to overhead. Sam early on had to find a movement pattern that had to work for her best. And you notice she's almost doing like a muscle clean, and then once it gets to her shoulders, re-dipping and going overhead. She's not necessarily dipping for the clean to start out, but that's something that works for her. For other people, they may need to dip on the clean, re-dip again, or just clean it and right to overhead. But Sam, we're seeing, once she found the movement pattern that works best for her, it's really been lights out ever since.
Briggs is back to the rower. She is in round number 12. Kristen Holta is finishing out round number 11 with 3 minutes to go here.
We're seeing these athletes start to elongate their stroke on the rower a little bit. You notice they're starting to lean back a little bit more, really taking that extra breath before they kind of recollect and go back for another pull. That's definitely a sign of fatigue, but still, I mean, at this point in time, we're only a few minutes left. It's to be expected.
Holta's into round 12. Briggs is closing out round 12. Holta had the lead until about round 6, and that is when Sam Briggs overtook her, and she has done nothing but put distance between herself and the woman from Norway since then. Briggs into round 13. Samantha Briggs with 10 repetitions, 5 each arm. You have to do 5 an arm. You cannot alternate. You have to do 5 on one arm and then switch to the next arm, and that was close on that transition.
And most of these top athletes aren't ever going to set the dumbbell down until they're done with all 10. They'll transition right away. For the rest of us normal athletes, you know, we may have to put it down in between each 5 as a nice little transition or break for us, but they've just been plowing through these 10 reps every single time. They almost look machine-like because they're not looking back when it comes to these reps.
90 seconds left in 18.1. Remember, after this, we are going to have another heat after the cool-down show featuring nothing but Brazilian athletes. And you can bet this crowd is going to stick around for that and make a ton of noise. Samantha Briggs, 383 repetitions and counting. About ready to close out round 13, so she is going to get well into round 14 as we now have 1 minute to go in 18.1.
And both of these athletes are still going strong. Last night, Sean, we went out to dinner with Kristen and Sam, And right after we were done, about 10 o'clock at night, they went back to the gym to get a workout in because they wanted to be prepped and ready to be able to work out at this time at night. It's 10 p.m. here. Most people are back home watching some Grey's Anatomy and going to sleep, and they're working out at a very high level.
Holta and Briggs. Holta on the right, Briggs is on the left. Less than 30 to go in 18.1. Samantha Briggs is in round 14. She will not complete it. But this is going to be a score that I'm guessing is going to stick towards the top of the leaderboard when it's all said and done. Briggs back into the rower, 8 seconds to go, just trying to get as many reps as she can. And that'll do it for 18.1, and it's Samantha Briggs who takes the heat.
You said it, Sean, in the lead into this entire thing. The engine from England is not slowing down. She's still revving it up. She showcased that tonight with just another insane workout.
And give credit to Kristen Holta, too. A great performance from her. What a great show of sportsmanship. And this crowd appreciates it. And congratulations also to Sylvia Lay and Andre Yenta. But it was round 6, Tommy, as we take a look at the replay brought to you by 511 Tactical, where Samantha Briggs was able to overtake Kristen Holta and win this heat. And Samantha Briggs congratulating both Sylvia and Andre, who put up a great fight here. But once again, Kristen Holta was impressive, jumping out to an early lead. Both athletes had a great pace. But in the replay brought to you by 511 Tactical, it was Samantha Briggs in round 6 where she really put the hammer down.
Yeah, and what we'll see in the replay here is early on, Kristen Holta came out to a blistering pace, had a 2 or 3 rep lead over Sam. But sometimes, you know, the nerves get the best of you. You come out a little bit hotter than you need to, or maybe than you plan to, because once Sam found a movement pattern on the dumbbell that worked for her, she took the lead going into that rower. And once she was on the rower, there's no looking back. She's the best at the sport when it comes to notching those calories on the concept too. And Sam just kind of rode that wave throughout the entirety of the workout, ripping through the toes to bar, kept those unbroken, kept the dumbbell unbroken. And after that, I mean, who is going to chase down Sam Briggs once you get past that 10-minute mark in a workout like this?
Kristen Holta doing a nice job of trying to keep pace. Your official results from the very first heat of 18.1. Samantha Briggs with 409 repetitions as she gets well into her 14th round, and it's Kristen Holta with 379 repetitions. Rory McKernan is on the floor with the engine from England.
All right, Sam, the first question is a selfish one. It looks like you're just gone, like on another planet. What's going on in your head on a long grinder like this?
I just kept counting the reps of each movement, and that kept me in the zone and in the pace. I got a few new reps in the first couple of rounds, so Kristen got ahead of me, so I tried to push the first few rounds a little bit, and then as soon as we were neck and neck, like level off the pace and just try and hold that until the end. And then I tried to go a little bit faster, but then it was too late.
It was pretty fast. Let's talk about those no reps. New movement. Seemed like you had a little bit of trouble at it initially. So what was the tricky, sticky part?
Just the first bit, the deadlift up. Because the dumbbell was in the middle, it feels like you've stood all the way up, but you've not opened your hips like a traditional deadlift. So on my third no rep, I got what he meant. And I made sure that I didn't make that mistake again.
Early on, you've won the Open twice. Early on, you guys were going for the win. Has that changed as the game has progressed, or are you still going for a win in the Worldwide Open?
You always push yourself. People say that they don't go for a win, but it's a big confidence boost. Even if you don't win overall, if you just win an event, it gives you a little boost that maybe you are still among the top in the world.
Well, you're starting off with a fantastic boost. Ladies and gentlemen, Samantha Briggs.
Samantha Briggs is well positioned to pick up her 11th career Open event win, but a lot is going to happen between now and what takes place here in the next couple of days, and some people are going to have something to say about that, I'm sure. But what impressed you the most about what you saw from her?
Really, that her first round looked almost identical to the second round in terms of pacing, in terms of timing, in terms of the transitions. I mean, Rory mentioned it. She looked like she was in the zone the entire time. almost didn't even pay attention to the pace that Kristen was going. And I think what we saw from her is not normal, right? All of us are going to break down at some point. She didn't have any sort of slip up at any point, not on the toes to bar. She didn't break her technique there. She didn't break on the dumbbell technique either once she found a good rhythm and a good movement pattern for her. And on the rower, she was just cruising. It was classic Sam Briggs.
Kristen Holta, we mentioned, has improved every year at the CrossFit Games, is someone that we think could be a contender, and she certainly showed that tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can't walk away from this and not be stoked that you were hanging rep for rep with Sam Briggs in a workout that was at the 20-minute time domain, is something that includes the rowers, probably one of the things Sam is best at. And you're right up there close to that 400 rep barrier, which I think is going to be the big separator. I would not hang my hat 1 second if I were Kristen. I mean, look at the body work she had last year at regionals and at games. She's just warming up for the rest of the season.
As impressive as those two performances were, I think the best thing that we got to see were two everyday local athletes out there on the floor, throwing down and giving it their all. What'd you like from what you saw from Sylvia and Andre?
I mean, just giving full effort from these two athletes. And really, this is just putting what happens in the affiliates every single day under a microscope. It's the beauty of the CrossFit methodology, right? Is the needs of the elite athlete and the everyday athlete only vary by scale, not necessarily by type, right? So we get to have these athletes throwing down with some of the best in the sport. All of them can walk away with something beneficial from this workout. And really, this is a story you get to go back and talk to everyone about, because you got to throw down in 18.1 to kick off the season.
Scores for both Andre and Sylvia. Andre racked up 178 reps, and Sylvia RX 125 reps. Let's go back to the competition floor and Rory McKernan.
Sylvia, this is cool for people at home who are maybe considering, should I go RX? Should I go scaled? You chose to go RX. Would you do that if you had the workout over again?
Yeah, I would choose RX again.
Tell me why.
The weight from the dumbbell was okay for me. So the only thing is the toes to bar, but if I keep my pace, I can do it. That's why I choose to do RX.
And you said you might redo this workout, right?
Yeah, it's okay.
You're crazy. You're crazy. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sylvia. Give it up for Andre. Give it up for all these athletes.
The action is just getting started here. You're going to want to stick around because we have another heat later in the show that's going to take place after the cool-down show. And it's going to be a blast to watch 4 Brazilian athletes, 2 of whom we have been paying very close attention to because they are up-and-comers throw down here in 18.1.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see Guillermo Harris as well as Loaiza Marquez, 2 athletes that have competed on the biggest stage in Madison, throwing down for this workout and in front of their home crowd in their home country here in Brazil.
Cool-down show is going to be up next, but we want to remind you about the special deal that Paleo Ethics is offering to all of you. It runs through February 26th. You're going to want to go to paleoethics.com, and you're going to use the code OPEN2018, and you will receive 40% off of a large supplement order. Again, runs through February 26th. Paleoethics.com, use the code OPEN2018. If what you just saw did not motivate you to get after 18.1, then what you're about to see definitely will. A lot of talk in the community about the upcoming CrossFit Games documentary entitled The Redeemed and the Dominant. It is available for download on March 23rd, and here's a sneak peek at that.
Our athletes are doing, everyone thinks is impossible. That you can be that fast, that you can be that strong. You can have that many different skills. You can walk on your hands, clear an obstacle course. They also train fitness more than anyone else in the world.
Tia Toomey has been second overall at the CrossFit Games the last 2 years.
And she has filled one of the most important holes in her game. It's not a bar, it's not a movement, but it's what's between the ears. 5 feet remains.
It's not going to break.
Oh no!
And she just got a no rip.
I hope you play your cards right. I hope you are in the best shape of your life. I want a good race. I want to feel good about this win.
And this crowd is going insane.
There's no pacing, there's no gaming. Get the work done. This is going to be an absolute grenade on the point stand.
Do you think there are steroids in our sport?
Yeah, I can, definitely.
Are there athletes who are essentially cycling off so they can test clean at the games? Possibly.
The scenario that I'm competing against someone that's a contender at the games, like I know they're doping. You're not willing to put in that work, you're not willing to put in those hours, then get the f*** out of here.
Something is amiss here, and it could have major implications. At the line, the most dominant performance of all time. Oh my goodness, what a finish!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. This is the cool down show where we get the athletes. They've caught their breath, I suspect, and we get to catch up with them and Dave Castro, ask some questions from you guys at social media, but also serve our own curiosities. And my first one actually is for you, Dave. I love seeing this mix of athletes out here. I love seeing folks from the community going against the top in the sport. What was behind the decision to mix it up like that?
The reason we had these athletes down here out on the floor is these two represent the best of our sport. They're the best in the world. They're the 0.01%. These two and us represent CrossFit. This is what the community and all of the affiliates are built off of. Everybody in this room, the 14,000 affiliates, are all here because of people like us, not because of the elite athletes. They're an important part of this whole thing. They're motivation to everyone else like us, but this is the foundation of the community, and this is something that's very important to us to celebrate. We need to celebrate everyone because that's what the Open is truly about. It's a point where all of the community and every member, every individual can play. And you saw we had one of them, we had him scale, and we had her do it RX, and she fought through, and it's a great representation of CrossFit for everyone. And the Open for everyone.
And so you're not going to pace your 18.1 off of Briggs? You're not going to pace your workout off of her?
Yeah, I'm not going to pace my workout off of these two ladies.
All right, I didn't think it was fair that we were only speaking in English when you're a Portuguese speaker, so we brought Ricardinho out to help. Andre, first I want to ask you to tell people about your story with CrossFit because it's amazing for me.
Bom, primeiro eu queria agradecer todo mundo que está aqui presente. A celebração da saúde, eu quero dizer, eu tinha 117 quilos há 2 anos atrás. Eu não sabia onde que ia dar, certamente acho que eu nem estaria aqui. E eu procurei uma dieta para fazer, depois procurei uma nutricionista. Ela me pediu para fazer exercício, eu falei, mas qual exercício que eu vou fazer? Ela falou, vai fazer musculação numa academia. Eu falei, não, é muito chato, eu não quero isso. E à noite eu fui para casa e minha filha estava vendo televisão e eu peguei o controle, procurei uma coisa e achei Fittest On Earth. Eu falei, o que é isso? Comecei a ver, falei, isso é para mim, CrossFit, é isso que eu quero. E no dia seguinte eu fui num restaurante e o que tinha do outro lado da rua? Um box, a Born to CrossFit. E eu tô lá até hoje, vou 4 vezes por semana. Eu amo o que eu faço, é uma delícia. Obrigado por todo mundo.
I gotta have a timeout. We gotta catch up. We gotta catch up. Can you tell me briefly what happened?
So Andre, he lost almost 40 kilo. He went to a nutritionist, and she recommended for him to start training. And he watched TV, saw some CrossFit competition on TV, and here he is, changing his life.
Congratulations, it's fantastic. Sylvia, just tell me briefly, how was this experience being on the field of play with some of the best in the sport of fitness?
Essa experiência foi bem diferente, foi uma surpresa muito grande. O coach de boxe não tinha me falado nada, mas eu adorei ficar aqui, participar desse evento tão grande assim. E estou bem emocionada com tudo isso.
So she's very excited. Her coach, give a hand, um aplauso. Her coach didn't said anything to her until last minute, so she was very nervous, but also very happy and excited to be here.
Thank you for being here. You did amazing. I'm proud of you. Kristen, let's talk to you. We haven't had a chance to speak yet. I want your evaluation of your performance this evening.
I'm happy with my performance. I went out hard. I knew I had to go out hard to be able to beat the Miss Briggs. I went out hard and tried to keep up the pace, but it got hard around like 8 to 10 minutes, and it was just about holding on all the way. And I tried to pull myself together, and I pushed as hard as I could, so I did my best, and I'm happy with my effort.
We were speaking before the cameras started that usually, Sam, I see you come out hot and make people chase you in these kind of workouts. So you were ahead. How did that affect your mental game?
I had nothing to lose. I had to go out all I had and hope for the best that I can keep the pace all the way. And today I got a little tired, around 10 minutes, but I'm happy that I tried. And next time it will go all the way.
Let me flip that over. So I'm used to seeing you come out and make people chase you. Did that affect your mental when you're getting no reps and Kristen's pulling away from you early in the workout?
It was hard when she was pulling away because the reps on each thing are relatively short. So I didn't want to push too hard because we were only 3 minutes into a 20-minute workout, but I didn't want her to pull away too far that I couldn't catch up. So it was trying to find that balance where I was pushing enough to get the reps back without tiring myself too much that I wouldn't be able to hold on.
Now, I noticed that you took the time to actually strap in. You didn't strap your feet in. Would either of you change? I mean, I assume you wouldn't change that. Would you change that if you had to go back, the transitions?
I know that rowing is not my strong part, so I just had to go for it and pull as hard as I could, and I couldn't take the time to strap out. I think I gained a few seconds on that, maybe.
You both did amazing. You all did amazing. Guys, one more time for the athletes. We got lots more action to come. So you guys at home, don't go away either. This is really just the start. We've got, for the first time ever, a second heat of 18.1. You're going to see local Brazilian athletes, 2 of whom have been to the CrossFit Games before, and 2 of whom will be battling when we have the first regional back down here in Rio de Janeiro. Of course, later on, we've got a lot more stuff for you as well. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, Adrian Bosman's nowhere to be found. Roe versus Boz is not happening tonight. I don't know. I'm sad too. I'm sad too. But it will not die. Me and Boz will face each other when I get back to the United States, and we will show you what happened on Monday. So Roe versus Boz will happen on Monday. We're extending the weekend for you guys before the close of the leaderboard. And then, of course, we want you to tune in next week for 18.2. We'll be back in the States in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where Noah Olson and Patrick Vellner, the 3rd and 4th fittest man in 2017, will throw down open workout 18.2. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. I'll see you next week, but until then, I'll see you on the leaderboard.
Next week, the World Wide Open heads back to North America. He's finished 3rd overall at the CrossFit Games in back-to-back years. Now, Patrick Vellner has his sights on the top of the podium. Noah Olson is coming off his best career outing in Madison, but a finish in the top 3 still eludes him. In 2018, he's on a mission to change that. 2 of the best in the world go head-to-head in the Steel City. 18.2, Vellner versus Olson, live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.